What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, GG Forex, and on today's video I'm going to be talking about rules, your trading plan rules. I know this sounds like a boring topic, but I believe it's super important, and as I've been going through this for the last month, I've kind of been ruleless. I've been trying to figure stuff out. I've been trying to see what works for me, and then I write them down what works, what I'm good at, what currency pairs, and all this stuff, and then I put that into basically a checklist. And this checklist is my rules before I enter a trade. I figured out, I've looked back and I've gone, right, every time I've won, what have I done? And then that really helped me to focus on what I need to look at first before I enter the trade. So before I do anything more, I'm going to show you my rules. Oh, it's on a whiteboard as well, so it's proper professional. So if you can see this or not, I don't know. But I'm just going to read it out for you. I trade with the trend. Now, the reason why I do this is because I don't like going against the wind or peeing into the wind. It's just going to end badly. You know, if you just swim against the current, it's going to be really hard. It's just making life more difficult for yourself, and you've got less profit. The reward to risk when you're going against the trend isn't as great as when you're going with the trend, right? So that's the reason why I've got that. Also, I only trade when the stochastic or RSI is saying it's overbought or oversold. The reason for this is because buying or selling pressure is going to build up. And when we see anything oversold, it's going to go in the opposite direction at some point. So when I get that confirmation saying, okay, decision is going to be happening kind of soon, just watch it. Don't enter it, but watch it. And I won't buy anything that hasn't been overbought or oversold. That is a confirmation of mine before I get into anything. Obviously, using all of these indicators with price action and market structure. I don't just use these indicators randomly by themselves. Everything has a purpose. It's all with the strategy. Also, only trade when it hits in the golden zone. Now, the golden zone is the Fibonacci, and the 618, the 50, and the 38.2 are my golden zone. So I feel like if it's on a downwards trend, I wait for the pullback, and when it hits the golden zone, which is those measurements on the Fibonacci, then I'll start looking. I'll say, okay, is it now, if it's a downwards trend, the pullback, is it now oversold? Because I'm looking to go downwards with the trend. It's now oversold. It's hit my golden zone. The pullback has happened, which is my other rule. Only trade on the pullback or the retest. And when it hits that, then I can get into the trade for a sell. Okay, so that's why I've got that. Also, only enter on lower time frames. The reason why I do this is because I always want to get a good entry. I can't, especially with having a smaller account, I can't afford to have massive pips. I can't afford to have like a 50 pip stop loss. So I have to make sure my entry, is perfect before I get in, because I just can't have that reward to risk ratio. I need to have a risk of maybe 20 pips with a reward of 80 pips. You know, I can't afford to do that, and I feel like money management or risk management is super important, and entry is even more important, because the drawdown could wipe you out, and if you got a high drawdown, that means you can't enter any other trades because you're already losing money, if that makes sense. You're stopping yourself from trading because you're waiting for the drawdown to come back just to even get break even. Like, we've all been there, right? Where you've entered a trade, it's immediately the drawdowns, you're like minus a couple hundred, and you're like, oh man, and like 6 hours later you break even, and then you think about just getting out the trade altogether. So like, that's the reason why entry for me is like super important. Let me know in the comment box below if you guys have experienced that as well. You've entered a trade and you've been waiting for 7 hours just to break even. It's horrible, right? Also, confirm direction on higher time frames. So if the 4 hour is saying it's a downwards trend, if the 1 hour is saying it's a downwards trend, and the half hour is saying it's a downwards trend, and it's saying it's overbought on all those time frames, then the likelihood of that happening very soon is definitely going to happen. So I like to look at the bigger picture first. Always look at the bigger picture just to get an idea of where the market is. I mean, you might think it's a downwards trend, but when you zoom out, you might just be in consolidation on a higher time frame, and it might be at a support or resistance line. So that's why you really need to look at a bigger picture to figure out where you are in the market and what the likelihood of it is going to do next. Okay, and what does that say? Oh yeah, only trade on the curl of the stochastic. So as I said, when it's overbought or oversold, I only add in my trade when it's about to curl up or curl down for the next move. That way I get my entry even better. And one rule that I do have on this now is divergence. I love looking at divergences because I seem to be winning when I do that, and they seem to be more consistent. Again, divergences, you might spot it, but doesn't mean it's going to happen then, hence why you need to go on smaller time frames, look for certain candles, and then you can enter when all that ticks up. And also the currency heatwave app. When I feel like that currency is getting weak enough, then I'm gonna sell it or buy it if it's getting strong enough, okay? So these are my rules. You might have the same rules. Let me know what you think about my rules, or if you have any yourself that you think I should add to this. That'll be super helpful, especially on my journey, because at the moment I'm still a brand new newbie and I still don't have a live account yet. I have applied, like I said from the last video, I have applied, but I was rejected from my broker for not having enough experience or cash. I said I wanted to open an account with £1,000. You know, I'm guessing they're expecting maybe £5,000 to £10,000 to open an account. I don't know. Or basically what they said to me was, come back to us when you have more experience, or if you got more cash. That's basically what they said. So I start my course, my training course, on Saturday the 16th this weekend coming. So I'm gonna ask my coach whether he can sort it out for me and say, look, he's on a year's graduate scheme with a professional trading team. You know, give the guy a bone or something. I mean, Jesus, I mean, I'm starting with £1,000. I didn't think that was a small account, but obviously in the world of Forex, that is tiny. I know other people start with like 100 odd quid in their trading account. Let me know what broker you use, because I can use different brokers with the Smart Charts platform, which is great because I love the Smart Charts platform, but my broker is the issue at the moment. So that's my rules, that's the situation I'm in. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below, and if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That'll be great, because the more people see this, hopefully I can inspire more people to start their Forex journeys. I mean, it's a pretty scary time, and this seems to make the most sense. So I'm gonna go. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.